quite possibly the worst day I've ever had sailing. Terrible night, terrible night. I'm heading back. How's it? So I'm on anchor in Porto Grande in Syracuse, and I've been planning the passage to Kefalonia in Greece. I've completely forgotten how to do the passage planning. Anyway, so I've got the book out, I've got the chart out, and if I keep a record of my progress, the compass direction, the speed, and every so often, I think I was doing it 6 hours or 4 hours, I would plot the position on the chart so that I would know the last position I was at. But when you do that, there's a few like mathematical calculations that you have to do. Some weather routing. I don't have any like nice fancy gear to do weather routing, which basically shows you the course to steer as you're going while you're in the middle of the crossing with updated weather forecasts, so you can like alternate course and get the best weather all the time. I don't have that, so I can only get weather when I'm close to shore. So I've only got like say a reliable 3-day prediction. The crossing is going to take me about 56 hours is what I'm thinking, so it's okay. And I just write it down what the forecast is going to be every 6 hours approximately, with the pressure isobars, because I've got a barometer. That's all the chart work that I've been doing over the last 2 hours. I've taken like a day just to make sure I've got everything, and also that I know where things are on the boat, like where the knives are, where the tools are, where the emergency stuff is. I don't have any spare batteries. I wish I did, but I'm already offshore now, so I'm not going back to land. I got like a spare 30 liters of fresh water in a separate container, which I've never done before. I've checked everything else. The engine is good, the autopilot's good. I'm not going to need the anchor, but that's also good. I think it's 2 o'clock now, and I'm going to set off in around about midnight, just so that I can arrive in Greece during the day, if I meet my average of 5 knots. Anchors are up, just leaving Porto Grande, and you can't see, but there's a church on Ortigia. I think it's Santa Anna Church, and you can see the top of it above the skyline of all the buildings, and it's lit up. It's really beautiful, and it's pretty dark everywhere else. It's overcast. I'm just going out the port now, motoring slowly, taking it easy. Got a flask of tea that's too hot to drink right now. The wind is probably 10 knots, but I'm in the port still, and I expect I'll just be flying to Genoa in the mizzen, and we'll see how it goes before I put up the mainsail. That's it. 7 o'clock Friday. I'm heading back. It was a terrible night. I didn't make any progress. The swell is all over the place, coming from different directions, not coming in like a uniform line. And even though the forecast, I'm looking at the forecast because I still got signal, and it's telling me 10 to 20 knots, and I'm not getting anything, or I wasn't getting anything. I made 10 knots, I made 10 miles in 5 hours. That's how bad it was. I've turned around now, I'm going back into port because I'm just not going anywhere, and I don't want to motor all the way to Greece. I'm pretty disappointed. It's pretty shit because I prepared for the trip. I've never turned around before, and kind of feels like you're giving up. So it's quite possibly the worst day I've ever had sailing on this boat, ever. The halyard for the Genoa has come off at the top. There's a snap shackle on that, and the snap shackles come loose, unsnapped, unclipped, and the Genoa just ran down the stay. So I have no idea. I can't climb the stay. I don't know. I have a bunch of fishing rods. I measured them and the poles to see if I can tie it together and try hook the thing. I don't have enough length. So the only thing I can think of I've done in the past is to make a rope ladder, use the main halyard to pull that to the top, and then climb the rope ladder. There's a bit of swell. It's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy doing it in the marina, so I don't know how this is going to be possible. This is why you need more steps. Impossible. I put on the bosun's chair, tied the rope ladder, and the boat's just moving around too much. I'm swinging all over the place. I can't hold on. It'll be impossible to climb it. But I might have found the solution, maybe. And this is also not going to be easy. That's the bottom. So had to put this back in. Yeah. Fill that up. And then on the bottom, then we want the top. Don't want this to catch any wind, then I'll be all over the place. Big mess. So that's the Genoa that's come off that there. This is my untrusty rope ladder that is super dodge and would not have worked. But that line there is the spinnaker halyard that I put on the top of the Genoa, and hopefully I'm gonna just use that to put into the groove, because it kind of goes up to the top as well, but I don't know if it's going to roll when it gets to the top, how it's going to work. I think it took about 2 hours, maybe more, but it's up. Can you believe it? I was watching that thing. I was sitting here and I was watching it, as I was watching it, thing drops into the water, and I didn't even run to get it. I was just like, looked at it for a bit, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the way the day's going. I'm pretty exhausted, but we're going. After that last video, I just didn't want to go back to port and drop anchor and wait there for a week and eat all the food that I bought, and I'd have to go find somewhere to top up fuel and water. So I messaged Ulysses and he was giving me some weather information, and it was just, I mean, completely different to what was going on where I was. Now it is going as predicted, but I decided to turn around again, which kind of makes you feel a bit crazy because you go out so determined, like hoping that the wind will pick up, but yeah, so I just said I'll turn around and I'll motor slowly, get out of this. Maybe I'm in a lull, and yeah, it's been a struggle the whole day, but we're going now. But I've been fighting. My one nut is in pain because I was wearing that bosun's chair, like it's a harness, and I was thinking I'm going to climb this rope ladder, which is still up. I got to take it down. Anyway, nothing's broken. There's a bit of chafe in the Genoa that was from last night, just flapping around, man, and I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see the waves, which direction they were coming from. They're coming from all over the place. But anyway, so stuck to it, and geez, I think I'm on 40 miles now. I've done 40 miles. I can still see the Italian mainland, but I'm approaching the corner of it. So slow progress, but it's progress. And I think I better get some water and some soap and have a bit of a clean, because I feel like a sweaty sailor. Things were looking a lot better by the end of day 2, and although there was still a bit of swell, we had the wind pushing us forward, and I was happy to see Mount Etna fade away astern. I think it's 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Catching up on some sleep, and looks like a beautiful day, but no wind. Wind died at 4 o'clock this morning. Been motoring all day until lunch. There was half an hour of wind, and I've tried a few things and I can't get that Genoa to fill, so I have to roll it by hand, which isn't easy. Anyway, now the engine, these things have never happened before. Now the engine has made a alarm sound, and it says that the coolant is too hot. Engine has been running for 7 hours. I've run it in the past for 24 hours. Remember that? I turned it off now, and I could smell it. I can smell it, the heat. So we're not going anywhere. I'm going to jump in the water and see if there's any blockage on the water intake. I doubt there is. Could be, but I doubt it. Then it'll take a couple of hours before the engine cools. So I'll just be bobbing here until the wind picks up and the engine cools, whichever one comes first. It's not the best passage I've ever done.